Hello and welcome to another episode of Plant Culture. In this episode, we'll cover the winemaking regions in Burgundy and what these wines are commonly paired with, as studied by Dr. Benoit Lecat in the University of California. But first, some history on the wine culture within Burgundy. Although Burgundy boasts one of the richest wine cultures in France and some of the world's best wines, this was not enough to attract tourists, with some minor examples, due to a shortage of interest in wines at that time period. The earliest known time period of testimonials regarding wine culture is March 4th to March 10th in 1787, when Thomas Jefferson came to France in hopes of procuring different varieties of grapevine, listing a long litany of different wine grapes in a pamphlet that could be used in United States grape growing. In 1789, the English agronomist Arthur Young traveled to Burgundy and found different types of peach trees, plum trees, and cherry trees that dotted the vineyards of the province. He, however, was not impressed by the look of the grapevines or 650-year history of wine production in Burgundy due to the belief that the vineyards of Champagne were far more picturesque. In 1806, Madame de Stael, who was exiled there by Napoleon, also viewed the vines of Burgundy as being ugly, and described them as a horizon of posts. The historian Julius Manchet likewise shared this view, again due to the more managed nature of the vine production within Burgundy in comparison to the rest of France. However, the American novelist Henry James adopted a view that the very intensive management technique of Burgundy had a beauty in its own right, who viewed that the unruly and untrimmed versions of the vines to be ugly and unorderly, and viewed the orderly and highly managed version of Burgundy grape cultivation as being beauty born from order. This bringing endorsement alongside the Phylloxera crisis, which wiped out a good chunk of the grapevines in France, altered the perception of Burgundy, changing it into a wine hotspot for many peoples. Now on to the various villages where wine is produced. The first village is called Chalbis. The wines there are described as dry, lively, and even sinewy when young. It is described as having hazelnut, honey, and acacia aromas. Traditionally, it is used at least after 3 years have passed. It is commonly used to be eaten alongside shellfish, veal, and organ meat sausages, as well as Chinese food. The next village on our hit list would be Givry-sur-Bretonne. The wines of that region would be described as having flavors of red and black berries, which matures into an even more strong flavor over time with storage. They're often eaten with strong flavored cheese or strong flavored meats. The next one is Moret Saint Denis. These red wines are long storage wines. They are said to have strong aromas with berry flavors, which become jam-like in flavor with time. They're often consumed with red meat or chicken/other fowls, and strong cheeses. The next one is Chambord-Muxigny. This village produces wines with a complex but subdued flavor based on what this researcher has said, and is commonly consumed with red meat or game, as well as wild mushrooms and fruity cheeses. The next village is Voguette, whose wines have been described as having aromas of vanilla and spices. They are commonly consumed with autumn dishes such as turkey, chestnut, wild boar, veal, stew, and heavy amounts of red meat. Next is Vosy-Romanée. The wines in this village are described as having fine, complex aromas that can be consumed with any meat or meal. The next village is called Nuit St Georges. These are wines that apparently smell like humus, smoke, tobacco, and undergrowth in a good way, and are often consumed with game meat and strong cheeses. Next we'll cover 3 villages, Alux-Corton, Pernand-Verglès, and Ladoix-sur-Guiers. Sorry for butchering all these French names, but that's the best I can do. The wines here have a broad flavor profile and are consumed with pretty much everything. but mostly French dishes. Next on to the wines of Beaune. These wines are said to smell like raspberries and cassis, and are commonly eaten with game meat. Next we'll cover the wines of Pomade. These are wines that have scents that are apparently comparable to licorice, prune, or even animals, and are consumed with strong flavored meats and strong flavored cheese. Next we'll cover Vulnerae. These are wines that apparently have the aroma of violet and strawberry, and age well. They're commonly eaten with lamb, duck breast, venison, and quail. Next we'll cover Mersult. These wines apparently have a green goldish hue, and smell like linden flowers and almond. And after storage, they develop a quince and hot brioche and ripe fruit scent. They're eaten with fish in white sauce or white meat. The last two villages you'll cover will be Chassis-Monchet and Pulagy-Montrachet. They have two common types of wine. One's called Puligny, which apparently tastes somewhat like caramel, white flowers, honey, mint, and exotic fruits, as well as ferns, almond paste, and citrus and dry fruits. This type of wine is often consumed with fish and stewed calf and curried chicken. Next is Chasseline, which apparently has hawthorn, acacia, and honeysuckle aromas with hints of verbinia, with some mineral flavors in the background. Apparently more aromas emerge as it ages, with honey scents making an appearance as well. These are often consumed with white meat in some sort of sauce, salmon, and Asian food. All these types of wines are often consumed with lobster, foie gras, or turbot. Well, that about covers everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to me on BitChute for a greater variety of content, 4 videos a week. And thank you to all my subscribers on both platforms. I appreciate it.